Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, if you're interested in property investing, making money in property, this is the channel for you. So while you're here, smash the like button, smash that subscribe button. We just hit 5,000 subscribers and hit the bell notification. You'll get new content every single day. Now, today's a big one. I actually got the days confused. I thought that the Bank of England's meeting was next week. And then I was happily eating my lunch. And then I had a look at the news quickly. And I was like, oh, it was today. So I have been going through and watching the announcements from the Bank of England. And it's bad news. It's bad news. I think you know that already. Interest rates have gone up again. So we're now at 4.5%. Now, this was expected. The Bank of England kind of gives us an idea beforehand what they think they're going to do. But there's been some changes in the language, which I want to talk about here today as well. So Andrew Bailey's the governor of the Bank of England. I've got some notes here as I was writing it down. I was watching, so I want to make sure I cover all of this. So yeah, Andrew Bailey has said that one thing that was interesting is that the recession that they forecast is unlikely to happen. So we can say no recession, which is good news. So a recession is two back-to-back quarters of decline. And earlier, 6 months ago, the Bank of England were predicting that we would have probably the longest recession in UK history, but not very deep. Now they're saying we're unlikely to have a recession at all, which is good news. And obviously we don't want to go into recession if we can avoid it. Now they're saying that the UK economy is going to have some growth, obviously, to avoid that recession, but it's going to be modest. 0.25%, 0.5%. It's not going to be big numbers here. And often things like the coronation, for example, those sorts of things boost the economy because people spend on booze and going out and just having a bit more of a happy time. And historically, those things do pretty well for us as an economy. So here's an interesting thing. Consumer confidence is supposedly very high. And that means people are happy to spend, which is why we're not going into a recession at the moment. And that's backed by the fact that we've got really good employment at the moment. A lot of people are employed. That's probably a record at the moment. And we're not expecting much unemployment to come for the foreseeable future, which is another thing that is good as well. On a tangent, I do a lot with artificial intelligence and stuff like that. I think that's something that people are underestimating, and I think a lot of white-collar jobs will go because of artificial intelligence, particularly if people start using something called ChatGPT, which I use in my business. It's bloody smart and could take out a lot of jobs. Now, here's an interesting thing. The energy bills, the average energy bill at the moment is £3,000. Obviously, we've got some subsidies on those as well. And energy prices are looking to drop significantly. And so the average bill is looking to drop about a third, which is good. And that's going to help people. Now, let's put that into context for people that watch this channel, landlords or wannabe landlords or people that are just interested in investing. That means our tenants are better off. And that's good, right? That's really, really good. And that could be a residential or a commercial tenant. If they're better off and in a better position, I'm all for that. And I think that's a very, very important thing because rents have been rising at record rates. Some landlords will be passing on rent increases with these new interest rate rises, and the affordability becomes that little bit better, and that's good. And that will impact on tenants catching up, because we had a video recently where there are 700,000 potential tenants and mortgage owners that are in arrears at the moment in April. And so if we can give them that little bit of breathing room, that hopefully means that they can at least keep up and then start figuring out how to catch up on that debt. So that's a good thing. Now, inflation, they said, I think you've heard me mention, they said in previous meetings that inflation was going to drop off a cliff this quarter. And that quarter includes April, May, June. Then we had the figures for March, which were really high. And inflation actually went up a little bit, back up to the 10% range. They've just stated today, and I think they would know because they're putting together all that data right now, that inflation will sharply decline in April. Once we've got the figures, obviously we're in May right now, but in 2 weeks' time, when we get the April data, it is highly anticipated. And I really do believe that this time, because they wouldn't be saying that with that much specificity, can't even say it, they wouldn't say it that conclusively if they weren't certain of that. And they're the ones that are putting the data together. They've probably already got most of that data in. And so inflation, this is what we've been waiting on. This is what we need to happen to get us back. We're expecting that to drop massively on the April data. They're still pushing, the government at least, that we will halve inflation this year and get down to 5% at the end of the year. Now, Andrew Bailey and the Bank of England aren't so committed to saying that that's what they feel will definitely happen. Now, what else is going on? Mortgage rates, that's what you're interested in. Now, anyone that's on a variable mortgage rate, your rate will probably go up today. That generally happens. They don't mess about. They want to get your rate up and make themselves as much money as they can. So variable rates will go up. Credit card payments will go up for a lot of people. That's not great. Those with serious debt. What else will happen is that mortgage rates, as in new deals, are looking to roughly stay the same. So Knight Frank, they were interviewed for the BBC article, and they were saying that a lot of the mortgage companies have already priced in this rise in interest rates. So they're not expecting, and these sorts of companies, they speak to all the lenders because they're a big company, Knight Frank, they will have that sort of info. And you can see the data already, and we saw it with the last interest rate rise. A lot of the banks have already built in these interest rate rises, right? And so on new deals, they want to get new business. They're not expected to hike the rates, but we'll see. That's what we've got to see here, is wait and see what actually happens. How did the voting go? Because that gives us an indication on where we're getting to on the next meeting. And the voting, there's 9 members of the Bank of England committee, and 2 of them voted to not rise interest rates or raise interest rates this time round. 2 people, 7 voted for that to happen. That's interesting. That isn't really changing. It's a similar number. Hopefully next time we get it closer. If they do another rate rise and it's getting closer to 4 to 5, that would be good to start seeing we're getting close to the end. But what was absent from this meeting, or at least I didn't hear it, was in the past meetings, Andrew Bailey has said on record that he feels that we're pretty much at the peak of interest rate rises. He said that many times, at least in the last 3 meetings. In the last one, he said pretty much we were there. That didn't happen today. I didn't hear that. Maybe you did. Let me know in the comments if you did hear that and I just missed it. I can't find any. I've read about 10 articles today on this. I've watched all of this stuff live. I couldn't find anything myself that said that they do feel that we're peaking in interest rates. That seems to be a different change in language. And what I've read as well is that people now think that we could have one more interest rate rise. So a lot of people thought this one would be the last one. Who knows what's going to happen? It's an interesting time. It's not great when interest rates go up, for sure. Let's just hope that this April inflation is right. That figure drops significantly. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with time. Let me know your thoughts on this and all of this stuff. I think as an investor, what I would take away from this, if you want to look for some positives in this, is look, energy costs going down for tenants is great. Like, anything that can make our tenants' life better is good news. The other good news is that potentially interest rate rises have already been baked into the offers that are on the market with lenders at the moment. So even though the rate's gone up, it's not going to impact people that are getting new deals. It's the same pretty much as last month. Where it does hit people are the ones on the variable rate. Let me know your thoughts, comments, observations, anything I've missed, do comment below. What do you think about the next interest rate rise? Do you think it's actually going to happen? Do you think we'll have one next time round? Or do you think we're at the peak now? Do like the video, guys. We're having some great success with our videos at the moment. We just hit 5,000 subscribers, just about to hit 500,000 views on the channel. So that really helps as well. If you didn't subscribe before, do that now. Check out the bell as well. And check out all the other content on the channel, including this video right here.